never take away from you. Once you have it, it's property. So now it's just a decision of where you would want to have your property established. Given all of that, our partners at MHG from the Kids Beach Green Estate, they come in periodically and come and give us some information, some updates, and basically just giving more information as to what it is that's available out there. Now, you will be aware that MHG, probably the foremost property developer in the Eastern Cape, as well as with the Kids Beach Green Estate. They like to call it the super suburb, what's happening that side. And it's because of everything being there to the extent that one would never even have to leave the premises of or the vicinity of Kids Beach, from schools to. I mean, we were speaking with Tim just a couple of weeks ago, Tim Bulelani, who is the development business director, and he was telling us that it's a cradle to the grave philosophy there, where you can be born and even die without ever having to leave Kids Beach. And this is the kind of philosophy with which we work. But there's another side of it. There's a human element of there. There are people that are there at the Kids Beach Green Estate, who are there to help guide you through the process and making your decisions and helping smoothen the process for you. These are the people that comprise of the sales team, and two of them are joining us today by the name of Bulelani Mdlela and Yonela Lavisa. And the two of them are people, funny enough, who were never even property agents before they got involved into the Kids Beach Green Estate or with MHG. However, having seen the vision and having gotten inspired to become one with the development, they are now masters at what they do, and they are joining us today from the estate. Guys, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Can't complain. Can't complain. I hope Christmas was good, and I hope you guys are having a very blessed festive season.
Definitely. Hope the same for you as well.
Oh,
That side.
definitely, man. Thank you guys for joining us. So,
It's a
look,
pleasure.
neither of you have a formal background in property yet. I mean, here you are with
Yes, sir.
arguably the Eastern Cape's foremost property developer, making absolute giant waves at Kids Beach. So, like, to what do you credit this opportunity, and maybe like how did it come about for you guys?
I don't know if you wanna go first or can I start?
Yeah, you can go first.
Uyangixolela kudla ngothiwa kuqala umama okanye ladies first.
Well,
Qale
man.
mina. But ke ndiphiwe ke opportunity today. Firstly, I would like to greet you, True. I would like to greet the audience as well. I would like to greet my colleague next to me and the clientele that is tuning in and watching. Well, I can count from my side. True, I can count a couple of individuals. I can count a lot of things, but ingabe wrong if I didn't make mention that I recall the Sahleli Nengoskazi, where a friend of ours introduced us to an opportunity where development required sales agents ngaphakathi. That's Pumla. Okay, and we came with the wife after, I guess, as a tumelezo or CVs. We came, but to cut the long story short, we've met up with management, and Naya, which is one of the people that I could count as well, in granting us the opportunity to be part and parcel of the development, to extend that further, the developer to welcoming us, believing in what we can offer to the development, especially if you, Jengbusicho, for someone who has no background in property, but who definitely has passion and interest in being involved in the industry. I recall in December, growing up, watching people talking about property, selling property, talking about investment in property, and watching people making money out of property and not knowing how those dynamics can come about, how what is involved in such achievements. So all in all, I'm true. I would definitely say I can accredit that to all the support that we have from a friend of ours, from management internally, from the developer, and all the leaders that are internally within the development, and more so in overall, I would say my family that has granted support in Belapa, Kanye Indoba Belapa, and venture into the stream. And if I would then, the Kukumbele would be saying, I would definitely accredit it as well to the universe, to God, realizing that I had this passion, and not knowing on where to start, how to go about in joining the property industry, who to talk to as well. And I think with alignment, universe and God with His work, it has brought me here, and I can put most of that credit towards God. I'm not sure. Kola Kutsala, whether Yons, if you wanted to add more on that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Hudi. On my side, my story is different. I was just walking around this area coming from King Williamstown with a friend, crazy about this new development. Little did I know that I would get so obsessed. Immediately, I laid my eyes on this development. I fell in love. And on the next day, I called my husband, let us come and see there's a new place that is called Keys Beach. We're coming from King Williamstown. And you can imagine coming from King Williamstown, the minute you turn in that 10, say Keys Beach, you just feel the calmness. And that's what took me off. And immediately, my husband, as stubborn as he is sometimes, but he fell in love immediately as well. So yeah, we got in, we got help from the sales agent, and I became the residents of this area. So my first my first point of departure to be here in Keys Beach, I was the owner. I was the owner, and then through working around, being a person passionate about the marketing, the company called me to say, we always see you around and you're alive, you're a public person. Come, can you come and join us? And that was it. I became an agent through that. Yeah.
Well, you can hear from there when not true. This is just a matter of, bekumele intoba sibe lapha.
I think so now.
Bekumele intoba sibe lapha. People getting inkulu.
Ingolunyani, guys, and it couldn't have happened to two better people who are so passionate about Lendo Enienzayo, So, guys, what are some of the items, let's say on a generic checklist, when a potential buyer approaches you, how do you make the process as positive and fruitful as possible for them? When they have to make up their mind on what they want, what they qualify for, what is available, and also, what the timelines are. Itini into xa senimthengisela umntu, but before the sale, like there's that information session and the process of getting that process through.
If ndingayiqala wena true, it's very important as a sales agent or as a salesperson to know your client. I think that's the first step. Get to understand your client properly. Get to know your client personally as well. I think one of our main functions is to actually get to go deep down into knowing who are you dealing with. Who is this person that you're trying to assist? Once you get to know your client, you get to understand your client's needs. The first steps is to understand what does that client need, and as well within it needs as a client, get to understand as well the budget that the client has. What budget are we looking at? And more to add the credit worthiness your client, because as one of our crucial steps is to try and do firstly credit checks to the client, so that this then assists the client to be enlightened on how much can they actually, how far can they go with regards to their property venturing. I mean, with the development, we have a lot of offerings. We are a mixed use development that offers different kinds of properties as the tengisa at different, price ranges. So once the client get to understand how much can they afford and how is their credit worthiness, it places then the client now you're in a comfortable state to then pick themselves or to then place themselves within as developments that we have. Remember, we have about six different estates within the development, which would range from 695 to about 5 million and above. That means then the clients then can then say, look, within this price bracket, this is what I need. It helps us as well as agents to properly guide the client to say, look, as much as you need this with the budget or with the credit that you have, ngoba idlala a huge role in credit worthiness a client. With the credit that you have, this is how we can go about this venture. This is how we can go about the process. So I would definitely say the most important one would be understanding the clientele need, understanding the budget your client Liana, the credit worthiness your client Liana, and to make that whole process, because remember, la process in there, it's not really just going into a vingilane or into a store or into a clothing shop yothenga nje jacket. It's a decision or itatayo that will last the client for the next 20 to 30 years. So to properly guide the client and ensure that you're providing that client a fruitful experience, you need to be there. You need to be a listening ear to that client. The most important thing, we normally joke around and say, as estate agents, I think we play a lot of roles. You become a psychologist today, we therapist tomorrow, we counselor the following day, you are the accountant, you are the preacher, you are the friend, and you eventually become a family member to some of the clients. So the most important thing is to be there for your clients. Are your journey that is once off? This is a long-term journey. You are there to guide them, to educate them, to advise them throughout the entire process, from the inquiry process, throughout the handover process, and the after sales paguyo. So that's mostly what we then when I true try and assist our clients with, especially within the development, as I'm saying to you, as processes on trying to understand their credit worthiness, trying to understand their budget. That's why we provide these different types of e-landers among these different departments. Then we can take them to our home loans department to get e-credit scoring, to go and check their credits. They get rehabilitated Pagla credit department by one of our home loans consultant Uniki. And once we move to those steps of e-credit checks, then we sit down with the client to say, look, we've checked your credit and I understand what you need. I see, I know your requirements. Ndiyayibona family yako. Ni by 5, ni by 2. Abanye abantu would then want to budget too high, quarter by 2. Sometimes you need to advise a client there as well. And once you have all of that information, then you can sit down with the client to say, look, these are the options I have for you. Ungumntu ongayithandiyo i-apartment, ungumntu oyithandayo i-freestanding, ungumntu ofuna i-privacy, ungumntu ofuna i-lock up and go. You want to be closer towards the airport, you want tranquility, you want a walk towards the ocean, you want conveniences. There's shopping centers next to you, there's a school next to you. Once you get to understand all of these dynamics, it's easier then to guide and advise your client, especially with their investment, because you are solely responsible in looking after that investment. You are solely responsible for that client's journey towards achieving their goal. Because once you understand their goal, then you are able to take them towards that goal. I think that's the main function of us as agents, is to understand your client and be there with them in the journey. I'm not sure if Ndibambe Yong or if my colleague want to add on that, but that's mostly it, or not true. That's mostly it. And I believe with the development, we do provide efficient personnel to assist our clients in guiding them throughout the process, in taking them through the process as well, from the pre-qualifications to sitting down with them, discussing the properties that they require, to assisting them with the offer to purchase, which is another step, discussing the offer to purchase as well, taking them through the offer to purchase, which is very crucial. That's another very crucial step when accrue is that offer to purchase. Yes, very true. That offer to purchase, remember, when true, we tend to deal as well with first-time buyers, and some of them, or most of them, do understand contracts. But when it comes to the offer to purchase, it's a bit trickier. There are a lot of clauses that are binding there. There are a lot of detailing that you need to sit down with the client and ensure, prior to that client signing to that offer to purchase, ensure that the client understands that offer to purchase. And then the next step as well, when not true, is to educate them with the different products that we have. For instance, kule mixed use scenario, we have sectional titles, we have freestandings, we have imihlaba yodwa. So, such jargons as well can be not very familiar with other clientele. So zonke ezi steps ndizimentionishayo when are true are very crucial towards the process and the stages in taking the client to where they want to be, and ensuring that they secure the property that is best suiting for them. That's the very crucial thing, is that you need to ensure that the property that they take is best suiting for their needs, and it addresses their needs as well, and it addresses their investment goal as well. I think that's mainly that, when are true, towards handing over the property to the client, and then after that handover process, looking after the client, keeping in touch with the client, hearing the client's inquiry, ezinye izinto afuna uncediswa ngazo as well, understanding, the after sales services. Those are very crucial stages to go about. But the main things that I can highlight through is understand your client and ensure that you are there for your client. Ungabi ngumntu okuthiwa hayi ndimgqibele ngokuya.
No, that's very true.
You've said it all.
And how do you prioritize the investment aspect of the purchase? I mean, you were saying there's a lot of detailing in certain contracts and things like that, but I think also because you deal with a lot of first-time buyers, how important is it to emphasize to them that this is not just a purchase but an investment? And they should approach it as that, because a lot of people would think that because they're buying something, let's say at the green estate, that they are buying to live there, but other people could be buying to own a piece of the green estate and put other people in there to occupy the property at the same time. So that's an investment that can never go away as long as it's nurtured and taken care of. So how do you prioritize that and make sure that people are aware that there are options around this as long as the investment is?
Yeah. Okay. To answer on that one, I always tell my clients or anyone that is coming here that I am the living testimony. First of all, when buying a property in the development, you have the potential to see growth. I've never seen the growth of a property as compared to the one I am living now, as compared to the one that I was with. Because when I was in King Williamstown, then we freestanding house. But then when I came here, I was in the new estate, new development. So the growth, if you do evaluation. When you do evaluations, you can see that your property is literally growing. And then we also have the options. I always tell the clients, if you're not going to be here, because we attract lots of clients that are outside Eastern Cape, that are in Cape Town, that are in Joburg. So we always tell them that we do have a rental department that assists your clients, that takes care of your property while you are away. So you don't have to run around behind the client checking if they have made the payment or have done anything. It is our duty to do the credit check for the clients that are applying, or to also make sure that your property is well maintained all the time. So those are the things that we share with the clients. For example, we are staying close to the beach, a nice beach. So there are a lot of people that comes in here. Some of them, they don't come here to buy houses. They come here just to stroll by the beach, and then they see that there's an office. They come, pop in and check what is going on here. And I can tell you there's a lot of people that we have attracted that have actually bought through walking around towards our beach, because we also share with them the investment opportunity side, as well as the growth of our property. Since we're a new development, we don't have transfer costs. The amenities, they are still coming up. So whenever there's new amenities, whenever there's new amenity, the property growth, your property grows, you see. So that we are excelling.
Thank you, Jons. And just to add on, when not true, there's one thing that I like highlighting to my clients when we have to go throughout. Remember, when you're dealing with investment side, you are dealing with a different type of buyer. There's two types of buyers. You're looking for those residential buyers, and then you're dealing with your investors as well. And when you're dealing with your investors, there's a different side of it. For a first-time buyer, someone who's wanting to buy, but now they don't want to stay there, but it's their first time buying. Remember, that person is very excited, and that person is very emotional attached to that process. And it's very important as an agent to calm that client down. Remember, if they're buying for investment purposes, they want to know numbers. That's all they want to know. That's mainly what they want to understand. And so with that said, it's important to make your clients understand sometimes that emotional attachment to the process would leave them in a disappointment sometimes. But once you sit them down and make them understand the property as a property and as an asset, or as a stock that can generate future profits for them or future returns for them, you need to make sure that that client understands that. And secondly, you need to understand their investment goals. Their investment goals are very important. Why do they want to invest this? And how far or how long do they want to get to that goal? And remember, throughout my experience, I know some of the clients would then expect returns like today, which it doesn't happen mostly on the property industry, and your client needs to understand that it can take some time. And it is your function as an agent to be able to align your client mostly, because remember, within the property investment journey, there's a lot of ups and downs, with regards to, your income. There's a lot of, sometimes, like for instance, we've hit at the lockdown for the past year, for a few months back. And that had a lot of impact with regards to property investment. And for a first-time buyer, if one does not understand the longer picture of that investment, that buyer can immediately lose. As an agent, it is your role then to guide them. It is then your role as well to assist that client in understanding on how to go about that process. There's a lot of changes that needs to be done as well. Another thing is to, provide your client a clear marketing analysis. It's a very crucial aspect when it comes to investment property. is to analyze the market around to see how viable that property is, and how the market can respond. Because remember, the investor wants a space where there's a lot of demand to it. So if that demand is not there, then it's not going to meet the investor's goal as well. So that aspect, most of those, when are true, do help and do play a role in assisting the clients in terms of in the investment side. You know, being able as an agent to sit with your investor, giving them the projections on this is what we can achieve, this is how our journey can go in order for us to go to that positive goal. Because investors are not looking for negativities. They are not looking for negative numbers. They want positive numbers. So as an agent, it is your role to go through those research, to go through those processes, to go throughout that educational program towards your, especially your first-time buyer. Ensure that they understand what's going to come out of that investment. What does this investment give them? The projections financially, if they are speaking it positively to them as well. The marketing analysis is in line with their investment goal as well. And what does this entail in the longer run? And secondly, what is their exit plan? That's another important, crucial aspect, because sometimes as an investor, you need to have an exit plan. Once that property doesn't now start generating that income, you need to be able to have an exit plan and look for another property or another investment that could provide you that, which within our development, I would say we have most of that covered. I mean, you know, you can start from an apartment moving to a freestanding housing and towards all your luxury homes, which all those properties provide for different types of market who has different types of needs. So as an agent, if you're not able to assist your client towards understanding such things, you'll probably lose a lot of investors, or you might fall into misleading your investors. But with all of that said, true, I would definitely say a proper marketing analysis, market analysis is very crucial toward that aspect, in order to protect your clientele's investment as well.
Some of your take us through some.
I think, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, take us through some of your success stories. Maybe you've got some. I mean, without obviously to respect people's privacy, we won't use names. But I mean, I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there's some great stories of things that that have reminded you why you keep doing what you do at MHG.
Okay, to start, I'm just reminded now of my client who has recently bought a luxurious home. We've been together with that client for 3 years. To also agree with Bulelani when he said we make a connection and we make a relationship with the clients. So through those relationships, we don't give up on the client, no matter how bad the circumstance may look. So I have a client who has recently bought a luxury home, and it has been 3 years of journey, getting declined, not getting successful. But we keep in touch. We don't overwhelm the client. We don't bore the client. We don't, become this one but too much on clients. But we have the process where we follow, and when you receive such great news of clients who are finally getting through, those are the successful stories from our side. And also having someone who has already bought the house, and then you find them inviting friends, inviting families to come and buy. That shows that we are doing something great in Kisbech. So that's an achievement on our side, because we get referrals out of the service, the good service that we are providing for our clients.
Yes, very true, Jans. Very, very true. If I can name a few from my side, were not true. I can count a lot of them, but one that I can highlight, I recall in 2018, there's a client of mine which we were applying for a property, and she came here wanting to buy an apartment. And my first question to her was that, how can I assist you? Why do you want this apartment? And as she was saying to me prior, she came out from an apartment and she was very frustrated with that apartment. And then I was a bit confused if she was frustrated living in the apartment, but she wants an apartment this side. And when she highlighted to me, she said, no, there's a lot of chaos that side, a lot of noise there, and I think this side, it's a bit tranquil, it's a bit better. But from my side as well, understanding that, you know what, this lady is gonna buy this apartment. Yes, it's a very quiet space, but I'm thinking, what if maybe one day the neighbor knocks a wall there? That lady is gonna be frustrated. Let me try and get her to a freestanding house. And I tried to talk to her to say, look, let us get a freestanding. I think a freestanding house would actually suit you better. And she immediately told me, she said, you know what, Bulelani, I don't like playing games and I don't want to get my hopes high. I know exactly what I afford and I'm not going to go there. I said to her, look, I don't know how much you afford, but let us start there. Let us do the pre-checks and see what we can do. Then we did the pre-checks. The pre-checks came, I think she was affording something to 800,000. Now, the freestandings that we had then were at about, I think we're at about 850,000, which is a 3-bedroom. Now, that was a 3-bedroom with no garage. And it had there were some few extras that came up with. But now through our application, I think we only had about 90% of the offer from the banks, which unfortunately she couldn't then finance the rest of the amounts. She was very frustrated. I was very disappointed. Look, I drove that client, I've pushed her, and I told her that this is the best property for you. And for me not to get that deal, it was very heartbroken. And I sat down with our bonds originator and we spoke about it. I actually explained to her the journey with this lady. The bonds originator said to me, you know what, let us rehabilitate the client. Let us talk to her, give her 3 months and then see what we can do. I called the lady, spoke to her, and then she said to me, look, you are wasting my time. I told her, I've begged her to say, look, let us meet again. Come to the office or I'll drive to you. Let us sit down and chat. And then we sat down and then I showed her what we needed to sort out so that we can pick up the score and then we can see the affordability there. 2.5 months later, a few of her accounts were being sorted. She actually came down, started working bit by bit on them. And then we decided, just as we were about to do a second check, just to check on how far are we on the 3rd month, an opportunity came with a property that unfortunately a client couldn't finance as well. And it was roughly at 860, if I'm not mistaken. And that property, remember, at 850, the 3-bedroom came with no garage. But that one, I think it had a few special, if I'm not mistaken. But that one came with a garage, with some accessories and a few things in there. And I've immediately jumped for that property. I've asked our bonds manager, I've asked our bonds originator and my manager to say, please keep this property for me. I have a client. She didn't qualify. She only needed, I think, but she needed about 10% to get the bond. And then my management said to me, but they won't get this one as well. I said, no, you know what? We've worked. The bonds originator have tried to rehabilitate her. Let us put this through. We placed the application. I think the first bank came and declined. The lady cried. I was very heartbroken. I was in a stage where I'm starting to give up. But I said to myself, I can't give up. Remember, if you, the agent, start to be negative or start to give up on the process or start to give up on the client immediately gives up. And once you give up, the process gives up on you. So, I told the client, you know what, this is the only bank. This is not the one and only bank that we went through. We go through all these major banks. So let us wait for the other banks as well. And you know what, to our surprise, we got financing. The lady got 100%. If you'd seen the excitement in her eyes, how excited I was. I remember when I was visiting them the first time in the property, and her daughter came from school at St. Christopher's, which is just 2-3 minutes away, a walk away from her property. The welcoming I had from that house, the fulfillment in seeing them happy with the property eventually at last, and knowing from my side fully well that she will be happy there, and there won't be issues of getting calls to say, hey, there's my next door neighbor making a noise here. So that for me was a huge success story. That for me taught me a lot of patience as an agent. It taught me a lot of positivity as well, faith. Because remember, this journey is not only throughout or on our own what you call our only own ability ukwenza ngokwethu. Faith is very crucial here. Kukumama omdala uMama Thembi normally says faith goes a long way when you have to sell. So the faith that we had as well, we were very committed in ensuring that that deal is going through. And that gave me a lot of joy. That was a huge success for me. And I want to believe as well that is our major key towards the development, is ensuring that we take our clients throughout that process. Even if they want to give up, we do not give up on them. We do not give up on the process as well. And just, as a side note, just to highlight another aspect, throughout all of these success stories, it was a shocker on me just a few months back when a young chap knocked at the office and said to me, hey, sir, I'm looking at what you guys are doing around here. I'm a young student that's now in grade 10 at St. Christopher's, and I'm very interested in property. Would you guys be able to guide me and mentor me to become a sales or a property agent? So, picking up from such things through, those are success stories for me. The impact that we do have with our clients, those are huge success stories for us. We go through ups and downs with a lot of challenges. Remember, our properties, our clients wait sometimes 6 months to a year for our properties. And, we are quite fortunate and quite privileged to have such clients who are willing to say, we believe in that product, we want to wait. And when we take them throughout that journey and see the end result, we become, the feeling is so, fulfilling and amazing. And it shows then when you see a young chap coming towards the office and wanting to follow through those steps and wanting to be part and parcel of what we're doing here. For me, those are huge success stories. Those are very, very huge steps that we are taking. I could mention a lot, but that those two came into highlight.
And thank you for those. I think those are so important because you're not selling properties to a robot or to an inanimate object. These are human beings with stories, with real challenges of how they got through to where they are even able to be in a position to make a purchase or an investment. So I mean, there's a story behind everything. Look,
Yes,
guys,
sir.
before I let you go, tell us about the various options that are available at the Green Estate for potential buyers who might be listening or watching right now and just want to know a little bit more about what is available at the Green Estate in Kids Beach.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure if you want to touch on those ones.
Oh no, that's easy. We've got apartments ranging from 695,000. That's our cheapest price. And there we even say if you are earning around, what's our bracket there? 22,000, 21,000.
I would say, yeah, roughly from
Roughly, if you are earning a
22,000 to
gross of
25,000 gross.
22,000, 25,000, come to us. You can have something instead of renting out. Because when you look at those bond repayments, if those clients are successful, you'll find out that they are paying around 6,000, 6,500, 7,000, which is equivalent to what normal people are renting outside. So we're asking, why would you rent? Whereas you can have your own property around that price range. And then we have people that says, want privacy, I have dogs, I have small kids, and then we give those ones a freestanding house. And also with the freestanding house, we start again from a very price range, a low price of 750,000, which is Mdlela Gardens. And then we move to the bigger houses, which we call Mdlela Springs, ranging from 1.1 million at three bedrooms with your three bedrooms with your two bathrooms. And then you move to the bigger ones with again at Mdlela Springs for 1,250, and you move to Mbangele Estates, where we offer modern houses. We say that's our we theme that estate as a professional
I would say
retirees.
the
Yes, professional retirees. You know why we say that? Because it is closer to the upcoming hospital. So we have that have in mind that the client can just walk to fetch their medication, and it's sort of a community. It has that community feel, and you're already seeing great elderly people coming in those houses. But again, it also attracts modern young people because of great finishes. And then from that, you move to our luxury one, which is the village estate, where you get your double-story houses, you get the sea views, you get to choose your own finishes, you get to choose your own types of where you sit with the architect and actually design your house. So we have that range as well, because we will receive people that says, I like these houses, but there are certain things that I cannot go with this house. For example, we've got a great architect here too that sits with you and check your style. Are you more into a kitchen? Are you an entertaining person? Do you like style? Are you more of a fashion person? So that we can look at getting yourself a bigger space in terms of your working closet. Or if you like to cook, we make sure that your kitchen is up to date. So we offer those ranges where people get to choose. We are not limited. That's what I can say. We are not limited as well.
Definitely true. The limit is endless when not true. If I would add on towards Yonela what I've just said, with these different types of estate as well, we do have conveniences that are coming up. For instance, we do now had an upgrade on the Caltex garage. We do have a retail center, which is the first phase of the retail center. We are looking into going towards the second phase of the retail center. We looking at as well a medical center as of next year. We're looking at a second phase, which has started from the private St. Christopher's. We do have a hotel coming up as well. We do have a high performance center coming up as well. And to mention another estate that we had to add with Impangele. Now, Impangele, the village, and then you have the Golden Mile, you have Balucha River Estate. Those estates will provide you land where you can choose your land choose your plan and have the opportunity to sit down with our professional architect, like Yonela said, design your preferred home, choose your preferred finishes, and then you go to our our 10 key developments, your Mdlela Hills C, Mdlela Gardens, Mdlela Springs, ranging from 695 to 1.250 million. So we do offer a wide range of properties. We do encourage our clients to come by, pop in. We do have professional salespeople within the sales office that can take us through. And to add on that, our efficiency with regards to service provision. We do have the bonds origination department that can assist our clients with pre-qualification. We do have the construction development department that looks after the construction of these properties. The architectural department is within there as well. We do have our own attorneys as well that can take you through the transfer of these properties. So the journey with us through not only providing the different types of properties, but taking the client throughout the entire process is our main function, ensuring that the client receives the most convenient service and the most efficient service, easy towards their doorstep, is our main function. So we do have a variety. Yonela has mentioned that, and we would encourage our clients to come and pop in, and they can, come and choose.
Speaking of variety, Food, you reminded me of having clients that always say, I have my private banker, I'm gonna do it my way. We encourage those people to come because it's not the same. Having the private banker, it does not mean those people can help you in the bond process or in the purchase of the house. Bond originators are actually the ones that are assisting because they can go, they specialize, they know the exact door on which to knock. And they go to various banks and they negotiate on your behalf instead of going to one person. We always receive people who says, I have my private bank, I'm gonna go to my private bank, and guess what? They get declined and get accepted by other bank. So we encourage those people to come to us and don't focus on a private banker. It does not help. We've dealt with that many times.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us, Bulelani and Yonela from the sales team, who make up part of the sales team, and they're joining us with their fantastic backstory, as well as just some of the success stories and the processes and what is available at the Kids Beach Green Estate. You guys are doing a fantastic job out there, changing people's lives and putting smiles and happy homes and keys in people's hands, which is very important because it means that the attraction to the estate is real, and also the results behind living there are also self-evident from how many people are actually gravitating that way. So until our next discussion, thank you so much, guys, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, True. Thank you very much, True. And have a great day to you as well. And if you don't mind, prior to me leaving, there's one client of mine who just texted me now and said, if you don't greet me there, I'm gonna come there and snap you out. Can I just shout out to Mr. Ngalo? And shout out to all the viewers and all my clients who's watching. I'm watching you guys. If I didn't mention you, know that I'm seeing you. And thank you very much for your support. We thank all our clients for supporting us and being there with us and bearing with us as well, and the patience that they have. And thank you very much, True, for the platform that you gave us, so that nathi ke sikwazi uthetha nabantu bethu, sikwazi nathi uzicacisa uba sisukaphi. Nathi singabantu abasuka apho sisuka khona singathathanga ntweni, kodwa sisentweni with these opportunities sizifumanayo silapha ngoku, and this is our function, is to lift our people up and bring them closer to such spaces as well.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a fantastic day going forward. that Bulelani as well as Yonela, two members of the sales team that comprise of the sales team. In fact, at the Kids Beach Green Estate, you do have the contact information 043. That's 043-726-0551 or www.kidsbeachgreenestate.co.za. They are standing by for your call. Make your home owning realities or your home owning dreams a reality today. Give them a shout.
Where Kids Beach? Wow. Nanso ke Kids Beach yam. My healthy grass, my happy garden, my home ground. I smell your salty breeze as it blows and realize that I'm already home. Where warriors, kings and queens once roamed is now the place where I can rest my head at night peacefully and realize my own dreams coming to life for real. In your majestic journey of growth, you have spread your wings and become a royal dwelling for us all. My handheld glass, a toast to my humble growth. The possibilities are endless for my honorable generation. This is where my heart beats. This is Kids Beach, the place where I can reimagine my dreams. This is where I can breathe.
Turning your home-owning dreams into a reality has never been easier or closer than it is right now. Let us help you make your way home. Call MHG Property Development Specialist today and secure your own piece of Kids Beach that suits exactly what you're looking for on 043-726-0551 or visit www.kidsbeachgreenestate.co.za for more information.
MHG, my home gurus. Masizohlala khona mntase.